Prepping, cooking, the things you need to know. Who are you going to turn to? The Super Awesome Food Show.
Hey guys, it's John here and welcome back to the Super Awesome Food Show. Today we're going to be making ziti. Wow, goodness, it's really good. Turn your oven to medium. We're going back to medium. Your stove, whatever. Crumble in some meat. You want to make it small and large pieces. Just crumble it in. Don't worry about trying to make them even sizes. You want different sizes. Nothing too large though. You want to crumble it in, you know what I mean? Because, you know, it's got to be bite-sized chunks. Meaty goodness. We're gonna make some good ground chuck, ground beef, whatever you're gonna use, ground steak. Any of it'll work. Just some kind of ground meat. You can even use ground sausage. Yeah. You're going to be letting this thing simmer and brown. Let the meat brown up. Now you want to put in a little bit of salt. I cover it all with salt. Bring out some spice, you know, get some spicy, whatever in the meat going. Bring out some of that flavor. I put some pepper in as well. Generously put some pepper all around it. Ground pepper is pretty good. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That looks good, right? Constantly stir this around as it gets browned on one side. You don't want to leave it just sitting there on one side. You want to mix it up every once in a while so you're browning all the meat. You want it browned all the way around, all the way through. Just keep stirring it every couple minute or so, you know. While the meat is cooking, you can get your vegetables ready. I'm going to use some peppers and onion in this. So I'll use about half a pepper here. And then I'm going to do an onion. So the way that I cut these up, you can do it however you want. Chop them up as large or as small as you like. I prefer to cut them up into small slices. Small little chunks, small little squares. So I will slice them first, like so. Get all the pieces together, get them all ready. So once I have it all sliced up, I will then chop into little squares, little pieces like this. I prefer little chunks of my vegetables. And this way they melt in. I mean, you get some that are in the sauce, but some of them, the small pieces, will melt into the sauce and give you that flavor mixed in with every single bite. So it really gets the juices and the flavor going. It's a saucy goodness, we'll call that. Yeah. So just chop it all up. And then you'll eventually have that ready. Don't forget to stir your meat, so move it around so it's browning every side. Get the meat stirring around pretty good. Yeah, you want to make sure this gets browned on all sides. So keep mixing it up as you're doing this. Now go back to your vegetables. We're going to do the onion. I use a red onion. I like red onions. You can use whatever kind of onion you like. I prepped mine by cutting each end off and then getting the little top part off, the top layer. And again, what I do is I slice it into slices. Get that going. And then I will chop it into little squares again, little pieces. I mean, if you like chunks of that, you can put the chunks in. Don't worry. You can do it however way you want. But I like doing it in small pieces. So I will go through and cut it like this and chop it up into little squares. So these little tiny pieces are in there. That way, if some of the smallest ones melt away into the sauce and bring out the flavor like really good. Oniony goodness. Is that a thing? We're doing peppery goodness and oniony goodness. There we go. Yeah. So just get that all chopped up. You can look at all these little pieces. That's pretty good. It'll be cool. Let the meat brown. When the meat's all finished being browned, I just get a throwaway bowl that I'm not going to use because you don't want to put the grease down your sink. Don't pour grease down your sink. It'll ruin your pipes and everything. And if you've got neighbors, your neighbors will get mad because their stuff will get plugged up. But I don't like to use the grease in my food, so I'll drain it. And because I'm going to use the same pan for the sauce. So that's kind of why I'm doing this. I will use the same pan for my sauce. So I'll just put all the meat in here, dump the grease in, and let it sort of filter out. And then you can, I just let it dry up inside this throwaway thing, and you can throw the whole thing away once it's dried up. A solid mass. Easy cleanup. You don't have to do anything. You just throw this away later. And then you want to put the sauce in, throw your meat in there, throw your peppers and onions in there, all in one pan. Just throw them in there to make the sauce. I did think I was recording the sauce and the meat going in and the vegetables going in, but apparently I did not actually hit the record button. So voila, it's already done. The meat is in the sauce. The peppers and onions are in the sauce. Heat this up to a bit of a boil. Not really like a boil, but but make it simmer. Let it simmer. And make sure you're constantly, you don't have to do it every second, but every minute or so, spin it around, stir it around a little bit. Once it gets going and it's consistently bubbling, you got a constant simmer. You can turn the heat down to low, maybe a little bit lower. Yeah, down about there. And just let it simmer. Let it go, bubble away. And then while it's simmering, you want that, the juices to melt all into that sauce. You want to turn another burner up to kind of around high. You want to get some water boiling. So put some water in a saucepan. And we're going to cook our noodles in this. So throw a slab of butter in there for buttery goodness. You want buttery goodness on the noodles. Keep watch on the meat, on the sauce. Let it simmer. Move it around every once in a while. Make sure it's not sticking to the bottom. Shouldn't stick on low. Once the water's boiling, put in your noodles. We're doing ziti noodles, so we're putting that in there. Throw in another pat of butter. Stir it around so the noodles don't stick. The butter will actually help the noodles not sticking. So just get it all in there and get some buttery goodness on these noodles. They'll taste great when you have this done. Every once in a while, keep stirring it. Just let it go. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Don't forget to mess with your sauce once in a while. Should be boiling down pretty good. Yeah, that's looking good. That's looking right. That's looking perfect. Once the noodles, might take about 5 minutes for the noodles. It could take a while. Once they get kind of rubbery like that, they're not solid anymore. You could actually taste one and see what how they're like. Get one you can try. And yeah, taste it and see if it's all cooked all the way through. If it's cooked all the way through to your satisfaction, then we can take them out and put them in our sauce. So take your strainer here, dump them all in, strain all that water away. Some people like to rinse their pasta. You can if you want. Dump it into your sauce and mix it around. Stir it around, just kind of fold it in there. You're still on very low heat, so you're not going to burn anything. You're basically just keeping it warm at this moment, you know. But stir it all up in there. This will have made enough, probably for a small family. You know what I mean? I mean, two hungry grown adults could eat this whole plate. But, you know, a healthy amount for each adult and a couple kids, this will make enough for that. It's kind of a goulash recipe. So it's kind of like Ziti Goulash. You know, if you wanted to, you could have put elbow noodles in. You could have put rigatoni noodles in. I throw a little bit of paprika in there, just a dash, just a little bit. I don't know if it's true, but I've heard that paprika can boil away, can burn off. So it's good to put it in at the end rather than let it sit while your sauce is simmering. Like, you won't get any of that flavor if you simmer your sauce. If you put the paprika in when you're at the beginning, by the time you're done simmering, the paprika will have burned away. But I don't know if that's true or not. But just in case it is, I put it in at the end. And then you're ready to serve, basically. You know, it looks hot. As long as the noodles are hot, everything looks hot. Take a plate and serve. It's a pretty good amount for a normal human, right? Get a little bit more on there. Yeah, looks pretty good. Well, there you have it, guys. Some ziti. Pretty good. Meaty goodness. It's got some buttery goodness in the pasta. Yeah, yum, yum, yum. Let's get to eating this. See you guys later. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. I do appreciate it. Stay awesome out there, everybody. And we will catch you guys on the next one. See ya. The Super Awesome Food Show is part of the Super Awesome Geek Show network. Please check the description below and subscribe to the channels that interest you. I'd also like to thank Gary at Gary's Grails for the voiceover work on the intro to this video.